What's up, guys? Nice man here. Today I'm going to be talking about sex transmutation, my challenges with it, and understanding, or I suppose my insights into how to best utilize sex transmutation to manifest what you desire. So I would say I began experimenting with, first I want to delineate my opinion on the difference between semen retention, NoFap, and sex transmutation, because these things are oftentimes referred to as one and the same, or at least most people understand them to be similar entities, which they are similar entities, but that doesn't mean that they're the same thing. So I would say that NoFap is generally, the way I see it referred to is just, it's in the name, like, not masturbating, right? But I would say that when undertaking such a challenging task, because I don't know about you, but I have a certain drive, and sometimes, especially after long periods of abstinence, it can become almost uncontrollable, like that urge. And, when one doesn't always, because the fact of the matter is, one is not always going to have opportunity to express that with a partner, even though I've had many partners, probably too many, and that's not me bragging, because I'm not looking fondly back on all of them, but the point is, and that is, a lot of that has been due to an improper expression of a nature that I believe Napoleon Hill called highly sexed, like a highly sexed nature. What that means is, really at the fundamental root of it is to have a high degree of creative energy. Now, my computer or my camera is on low energy, so what I'm going to get to is, okay, talked about NoFap. Semen retention, I think, it's basically the same thing conceptually as sexual transmutation, with a one caveat, which is that sex transmutation, in the name itself, it refers to the fact that this energy cannot just be retained. It can't just be held. And I read a book on this, actually. Shout out to the channel Ancient Archives. I read the book's Semen Retention manuscript, and it talks more about transmutation. But I think the term semen retention is very, I would say reductionary, because it makes it, first off, it sounds way more difficult, because it's already a difficult enough undertaking without thinking that you're just going to retain and hold all this energy. That type of energy, it can tear a man in half, or it can make a man feel like he could tear the world in half with, what he wakes up with that morning wood. You can really feel like that, man. It's a certain energy. It's an energy that's so powerful, and I'm talking about my particular challenges with semen retention or with sex transmutation, as I finally found an insight, because I've been practicing it on and off for years now. But what I've come to understand is that sex transmutation is like good cable. Why? Why is sex transmutation like good cable? Because to effectively transmute the energy, especially if you're a highly sexed individual, or you find yourself having high sex drive, or you're a young man, it's like good cable, because you need to have many channels, or it's like an extension cord, because you have to have many outlets. You can't just channel, or at least in my experience, it's not enough to just channel it into your work. Even though you can do that, you have to channel it into your work, into creative endeavors, be that art or however you express yourself artistically, because I'd say that anyone has some sort of outlet to express themselves artistically, be that photography, music, drawing, whatever it may be, even making videos. So you have to have many channels like good cable if you're gonna transmute sexual energy, and that actually makes all of those channels that much more interesting, like good cable. Anyway, like premium cable. So you want to channel it into your work, maybe your academics, studying, creative endeavors, like I said, self-study, working out, meditation, any number of things that is going to use all of that energy in a way that is constructive, something that's building you up. So I would say that's one thing to think about very strongly, because I realize the utter power of that energy when it remains stagnant. And that's why I'm so I think that the term semen retention is such a misnomer, because a lot of men might hear that and think, man, how are you going to just retain this? Like, you're just going to hold it? Like, no, that's not how it works. I don't think it's realistic, because there's too many confounding factors that basically plant that idea, be it social media or just going outside, you see a beautiful woman or whatever, that energy has to move. Just like people who, because if you want to build with that energy, it's just like money, right? People that are really rich, they don't just put money somewhere. That money has to be in circulation in the economy. For the economy to be working well, money can't just stay still. A bunch of people can't just be holding money. The money has to be in circulation, right? If you're going to build a community, even a small community, money can't just be saved up. You can't just have one bank. Money has to be in circulation, right? And in the same way, that energy has to be circulated, just because it's created every day. You make more of it every day. Every day. So you have to circulate that energy. You have to transmute it. You have to, use it to manifest certain things, because I've seen the power of this energy. And what happens when you don't, or you aren't actively transmuting it into as many channels as possible, is that the current becomes too strong and it can overpower you and you can lose control. So that's one thing to think about. Think of semen retention, or here I am using the term that I'm not a fan of, but it's so common. Use sex transmutation, and even Napoleon Hill talks about sex transmutation. A lot of ancient texts talk about sex transmutation. So sex transmutation is one of the most powerful things for accomplishing your goals. But you have to have a lot of channels, or else there'll be overflow, or there'll be too powerful of it'll be too powerful and it can overpower you. It'll be like a flood, That's why you have to have multiple channels to divert that energy into multiple different places, or else it can be too much. So that's my thoughts on that. Very powerful energy. That energy lies within you. That's the energy that got you here in the first place, that made you the fastest one, the fastest cell. So that energy is powerful, and you got to circulate it. Even like a torus field. You got to circulate. That energy is circulated. It's literally like a field. You got to circulate it, because then that's electric energy when you circulate it, and then that electric energy becomes like a magnet. It attracts things to you. It attracts what you want. It's almost like, and then we can get into ideas of thought vibration. That's another book by William Walker Atkinson I recently listened to. We can get into the ideas of thought vibration and, like how manifestation or being fixated upon certain ideas can kind of quantumly entangle them, or bring them into your ether, into your reality. But just think about the fact that when you circulate that energy, any circulation of energy oftentimes, because even our thoughts are electricity, right? It takes electricity to make any motion, action potentials, motor neurons, affectory and effectory signals. That's all electric. Everything that you do is caused by an electric signal. So when you save that energy, that's some sort of there's electric signal. Every cell in your body has an electric potential. So when you're saving that energy, you're saving those cells, right? And that energy is recirculated. There has to be some sort of electric field that is created. And the motion of an electric field, the motion of electricity creates magnetic fields. And that's what's going to allow you to attract what you desire, to manifest what you desire, to attract the reality that you want, the version of yourself that you want. So I just have to leave you with that. Stay frosty. I'll see you guys soon. If you like this video, if you like my content, please leave a comment. That helps the algorithm. Leave a like, but comment. Comment. I'm 1 subscriber away from 10 subscribers, so if you watched to this point, you might as well subscribe. Give me that 10 subscriber point. I'm going to be making a lot more content. New book haul coming soon. Book haul video. So I'll see you guys soon, man. Stay frosty. Peace out.